Instagram. I'm Natascha, soon to be joined by Allegra, my partner, and we're live here every Thursday, just about 9:30 a.m. Pacific and 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We're here to chat with you like we do every Thursday, let you know what's going on with us as BYW Dreams or BYW Dreams. BYD or Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. Let's say it that way. And we're just here to talk to you about what we're up to and what's going on in our world and probably your world too, and just how you can open up planning to help grease the areas of your life and get the things that you're looking for. So we also go live on YouTube and we go live on our Facebook group as well. But for right now, it looks like Zoom is having a little trouble with those two platforms. So we're here live on IG. And Allegra,
yeah, it's super windy where we are, and it's messing up all of the connections.
Oh, so
yeah,
that can mess with that, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to get on.
For whatever reason, right now it says my Zoom is unable to live stream on our custom service. So if you normally check in with us on Instagram, on Facebook or YouTube, we're having trouble with that. But if you're on Instagram, hi, and Allegra will be joining us any second now. And what we're about, like I said, we're about planning to help grease those areas of your life. And what that really boils down to is what we're committed to, which is helping you understand how to prioritize yourself, save time, and achieve your goals. That's what we're up to. That's what we're about. And that's what our courses, web workshops, and workbooks, they're really workbooks, are all about. In fact, we just had our first live workshop in forever, first time in forever. This past
Can you see, it says that I requested to join. Do you see anything on your side on Instagram?
No, it says it says unable to join. I requested you to join. It says unable to. Oh, now it came through as a request. There we go. Yay.
Wind.
Yeah. So, hi.
Yeah. So we did our first live workshop in a minute that was open to the public. We've done a couple that were for organizations that had requested them from us. And if you want to request us, feel free. We would love to teach our productivity workshops to help, working parents avoid burnout. That's what we're all about.
Mm-hmm.
But we are starting to do some that are open to the public, and that's been really fun. We have one in December, and then we have another one in January. So if you're in the LA area,
feel free to come in person. And then also you can join us virtually too. And what's so great about doing it live, because we've of course done these virtually and people type in their questions and whatnot, and that's happened, and we also just have like an evergreen course, which is fun too. But what's so great about the magic of live is that people have questions, and they're going to be questions that you have as well. And while we cover all the bases, it's really great to get specific and get in the nitty gritty and see how you can tease out what we're talking about so that it applies to you specifically. And we're always talking about how what we offer is infinitely customizable, right? So it's so the way that Allegra does it and the way that I do it might slightly be different because we're not the same people. We don't have the same kind of demands on our time. We have different kinds of goals and whatnot. So, just between the two of us, the stuff that we offer varies. And so we had such a great workshop. It's two moms of really active, young babies.
There was a baby there.
Babies. And then parents who had older kids too, right? We had parents who were older kids too. And the through line here
college age children.
College age, yeah. The through line here is caregivers. So maybe you don't have kids, or maybe your kids are grown, but you're taking care of, elderly parents, or in Allegra's case, sandwich generation, young kids and elderly parents and grandparents at the same time. So wherever you are in your life, you can find value in these workshops. This specific workshop is about rocking your to-do list and just crushing that.
Yeah, we have. So if you haven't joined us before, we have 4 books, but the book that is the one that we get asked to do the workshop the most is 3-2-1 Done, 3 simple strategies to get your to-do list done. And this is really just such a great lunch and learn activity. If your office has lunch and learn events where someone comes in and offers a professional development workshop while you're eating lunch, this is the perfect topic. It can be done in 60 to 90 minutes. It really just depends on how many questions the audience has. The event we did this past weekend, they just kept having questions. And so it went 90 minutes. But this is our most immediate gratification book, if you will, because we are going to teach you a framework that you can apply. Well, first of all, we show you how to use it in the workshop. We're not just talking about theory. We actually show you how to do it. But then you're going to go on and you're just going to immediately be able. In fact, I already received an email. So we taught the workshop on Sunday, and yesterday was Wednesday. I received an email from someone in the workshop saying, I've been applying it and it makes such a difference. It's just that quick. Whereas our other books, they require a little more turning what we teach you into a habit before you might start reaping the real benefits of it. Although Rock Your Holidays is pretty instant gratification, but but
it, it takes the holidays to see like, oh, it really did work. But you can use it right away. You can absolutely use it right away.
Well, and this is just so universal because we go through the 3 mistakes that most people make. Both Natascha and I have made them. Most people make them. The 3 mistakes, and then we show you how to correct against those mistakes, which just immediately it's such a big mind shift. Like people always, you can see the light go off in their eyes, like, oh.
It's so fun. That's like the best part.
It is. Yeah. So if you've ever looked at like a long list of personal to-dos or professional to-dos and just said, I don't know where to start, that's where this is really going to give you a lot of value, because we give you a framework to say, okay, put this over here, put that over there, put this here, go.
Right. And the other thing too is that, like, that particular book, 3, 2, 1 Done, talks about the most common mistakes that people make and how to combat them. And we give some really, great tips on how to combat them and so forth. But if you can only really wrap your head around one of the concepts, go with that, right? That'll make it. You don't have to implement all 3 all at once, in order for it to make a difference for you, and then once you've kind of got one of those tips really working, you can incorporate some of the other ones, yes. And so it definitely works even if you only, use one of the aspects of it.
Absolutely. And I just want to take a moment to say, your hair looks so cute, Natascha.
Thank you. I just let it air dry,
I like the little wave.
Yeah, like that's because I was lazy this morning, put some product in and let it air dry, so it's not going to look like this tomorrow. But I also like to put it up so you get so you're just like, ooh, those little gray shocks right there, like, bam, they really are they get highlighted when I put it back like this. It's just like, woo.
Yeah.
Gray lights. I like to call them my gray lights.
I call it my tinsel.
Tinsel, yes. My silver lights or whatever. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, girl. I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, it looks really good. So, so just to really quick, Natascha mentioned our mission is to help you prioritize yourself. So if you feel like I don't have time to think about myself, let alone my to-do list, well, then we want to help you with Rock Your Morning, which is also available as a free video series. Just go to our website, BYW Dreams. And then we want to help you save time, which is 3, 2, 1 Done. And then if you're interested in bigger life goals, we do have our life design course coming up in January. This is all about living life by design rather than by default. And we all know, especially women, we are kind of the shock absorbers in our culture a lot. When unexpected things happen, we have to absorb them. And sometimes it just feels like you're reacting. And so this is really about giving yourself 2 days. There's a saying that most people spend more time planning vacation than planning their lives. And we get it. Like, vacations, first of all, are fun. And also they're a discrete period of time. It's sort of easy to just think about that short period of time.
It's contained, you need flights and rental cars or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's very clear what you're probably going to need. Right. So yeah. Yeah.
But when you start to get older, like my husband and I, we had this conversation about 10 years ago where I said, okay, it was early 40s about 10 years ago. Right. So early 40s, I said, we've gotten to a nice place, through work. Absolutely. But also a little bit of just like randomness. And I said, we're about halfway through life. I would like to be a little more purposeful. Not a little more. I would like to be more purposeful about the next half, because there are certain things that I want to accomplish in that time. And so, yeah, so maybe you're like Natascha and I, where you're kind of like, there's I'm halfway through, or maybe even like I have fewer days in front than behind, so I need to get more like I actually I did a semester abroad when I was a student, and it's funny because I felt like I knew the city better than people who live there because I had a finite amount of time. So I
Oh yeah,
knew I had to get it done, right?
totally. Yeah, like grew up my whole life in New York, and I didn't see parts, like didn't go to the Statue of Liberty until somebody came to visit from out of town from from Europe. They were spending like a month with us, and we went to the Statue of Liberty for the first time, right? So it was like because she was there and because it kind of
Right.
like forced that issue, right? So, and I feel like that happens a lot too when people come to visit. I'm like, oh, I've never been to the La Brea Tar Pits. Like these people want to go. So yep, it kind of forces that issue, but um could design that too, right?
Exactly. And I think that's part of, with homeschooling. I do, like, we do go to the Natural History Museum. We do go to the La Brea Tar Pits because that's a resource for us. But, I think it's so easy when you're in your 20s to just be like, oh, there's so much time to do everything. And absolutely there is. However,
It's
if you
never too
feel
late,
like,
and get on
yes,
you though.
exactly.
It's very stoic, right? It's that whole stoic thing of like, it sounds morbid, but like, it's like when you're really, really aware of like, there's a finite amount of time, it might light a fire under your butt. It sounds morbid, but they really encourage you to contemplate your death, right? So that
Mhm.
so that you're not just kind of like, but we all need to have whatever days. Sometimes for mental health, we need some, but to also just be aware that there's, I don't want to sound morbid, but like,
Yeah.
an amount of time.
And I did definitely have some whatever days this last week. I think for those of you who've watched us, that I was on jury duty, and my resting heart rate was noticeably higher during the 2.5 weeks I was on jury duty. That I love my Fitbit. I learned so much.
Allegra is such a data geek.
But it's literally this little
give her data.
Yeah. It's literally this little like, oh, you're under stress. And so now that I've been off jury duty for a week, there was a little bit of, oh God, the wind.
You're back.
There was a little bit of decompression I needed to do this week. And so I took a lot of naps, and I also took a lot of baths because I needed to kind of cleanse myself of that. And sure enough, my resting heart rate's gone back down. So fascinating. So fascinating.
Do you know what else is fascinating? We made our last payment on our van, which we bought 3 years ago. It was a birthday present for me. So my birthday just passed, which is yay, right? Okay, yay, we own our van. Yay, we get the title in the mail on Monday. Woo, it's ours. Yay. It's in the shop right now.
Oh,
it's like clank, clank, clank. I'm like, what the hell is that?
You own me.
And we do put a lot of miles on the car. It's, like, it's just what we do. But I was just like, and this van was like, in a way, like my dream vehicle for this moment in our life and our time. I call it our Swiss Army knife because it's like exactly the tool that we need right now, with the boys being the age they are, with the dog being the size we are, with the camping that we're doing and the traveling. It's like the perfect fit for us right now. And we're like, yay, no more payments. We're going to take that money. We had already like allocated, like, oh, we're going to start investing it over here, right? We just keep that car payment going over here. Clang, clang, clang. I look it up. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, this is an expensive clang. It's at the it's at the mechanic right now.
So the first month's investment will be going there.
Yeah. It's going to be, maybe if it is what we think it is, it's going to be more than just a car payment, unfortunately. But whatever. We're anyways.
Well,
if I had a Fitbit, my risk would be a little bit elevated right now. I'm just.
I do want to give one piece of advice, and I'd love your opinion about this. So my electric car, the tires are small.
Yeah. And
they're very prone to getting punctured.
Oh, really?
Do you have this issue with your electric car?
No, but I mean, you definitely want to make sure you've got the right amount of air pressure, right? Especially with electric cars, for your mileage, your gas, not gas mileage, but your electric mileage. Yeah, we
Right.
don't, it's not necessarily prone. Is it softer? Why is it prone? It's
No,
just
I think it's,
hard.
I think maybe the tires are thinner. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. I don't know what it is. For whatever reason, I mean, I have changed the tire. I've had to go to the tire place with this car more than all the cars I've owned combined.
Interesting.
So I just want to say, buy that tire warranty if you have a car with small tires, because thank goodness I have the tire warranty. This is like the 5th tire, I think. And I've owned this car
And they fill it like
4 years.
filling it or a screw or something like that. Is that what you mean? Or it's just got a puncture? It's just got like a,
Yeah, they replaced the tire.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So tire warranties.
I'm a huge fan of America's Tire. I don't know if this is a national chain or not, but they are amazing. And if you have a nail or a puncture, they will fix that for free.
That's who I have my tires with.
They're honestly, and they have insanely good customer service. Like I can't tell you.
Shout out to America's Tire.
Dude, we are fans. Yeah.
America's Tire. Are you online, America's Tire?
Customer service has been amazing. I can't tell you, like through the years, the amount, like definitely like a handful of times. I would say at least a half a dozen times we have gone in there with like a nail in the tire or whatever, and they've just been really great. They don't like try to upsell you into another tire. They're just kind of like, they fix it for free. They'll be like, no, your tread's still good. Like I don't know. We've had amazing.
They're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. They're like, we want to keep you as a customer. And they have definitely roped our family in. We are like America Tire all the way.
Here, look. Right here.
American Tire Depot. Yeah, totally.
Huge. So I just found them. I tagged them. Hey, American Tire Depot, have us come to a productivity workshop for your business, because we love you all.
Yeah. And their customer service, like their front facing, like whatever their training is, like they're like 5-star, stellar. I'm a huge fan.
So let's just talk a little bit self-care, because Natasha and I have to get off a little bit early today as we have an interview coming up. By the way, we're excited. We've been able to do a lot of podcasts and interviews. And if you want to see us talking about other topics besides what we talk about in our weekly live, go to our website, bywdreams.com, and you'll see that we have a bunch of interviews to see.
We are so popular on the podcast circuit. Like everybody's like, ladies, come talk to us. Oh, please. I mean, we geek out on all this information. So if it's stuff that you're interested in, especially we have some holiday podcasts talking about the holidays coming up, which is, we're in the midst of it. But
yes, in the midst.
We're in the midst. Yeah, totally.
And so what kind of self-care have you been getting in as the holidays have started? One of the tips that we have for Rock Your Holidays is to keep up with self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So how have you been keeping up with self-care? I think, and I just want to, just frame this a little bit. It's so easy to say, oh, things are really crazy right now, so I'm just going to put my self-care aside and deal with this area of, this emergency that came up, and then I'll do self-care again. And the thing is that when you do that, like, your self-care can fall off for much longer than you intended. But also you need to take care of yourself. You need to put on your oxygen mask first so you can show up as your best self. So try not to, like, with the jury duty, I wasn't exercising as much as I usually exercise, but I was doing my baseline self-care exercise. I kept that in. So it's the holidays. How are you keeping up with your self-care, Natascha?
I am. I see you're drinking your green drink. I'll be doing that after our podcast. I am to some degree, and I really realized that, if you've been with us, watched us the last couple of weeks, that I've joined an adult women's soccer league, and that has felt like such self-care. And the thing is, like, I've already been doing, we've talked also how I've been incorporating stretching and I've gone from 1 minute of stretching to 2 minutes of stretching. And because of the soccer, I'm like, oh, I'm like motivated to do even more, right? To do, because I've been keeping a very basic stretch, and I'm like, my hips need some more attention and that kind of thing. So that is really keeping up with going to, this game is only once a week, right? So self-care doesn't be necessarily every day, right? Definitely things that you want to do every day. But the day we had a soccer game the day after this Halloween party, and there was plenty of opportunity, or there's lots of excuses like, oh, I was up late last night, had Halloween parties all day long, skip the game. And I'm just really, really glad I didn't, right? Because there's like this, there's an aspect of it that has like a team feel, which I really love. I love team sports. It's always been fun for me. So there's like that community feeling of, everybody coming together. And I'm realizing when I'm out on the pitch, like, oh wow, for 1 hour a week, all I'm doing is right here, right now, this thing, which is make sure this team doesn't score.
Right. Staying very present.
Headline, if I'm out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Focus is all on that. And like in today's world, there's just so many things that are pulling at our attention. Like I don't have my phone out during the game. I'm not like buying things on Amazon or making a
You're not selfieing like.
Yeah. Well, at the end we do selfie at the end every game, but there's something to be said about having really just like 1 hour of focus on this, and it feels really rejuvenating. So it's not just physical. Of course, like I'm learning things about my body, like my body's like, oh no, you're not 19 anymore. Like you can't just decide to do that, and you gotta clear it with us first. My body.
Is there like a no slide tackle rule?
There is no slide tackles. Yeah, no slide tackles. Yeah. The goalie can do that kind of thing, but you out there in the world, you out there on the regular player can't do it. Anyway, so that's been really, really helpful. And it spurred me into some other self-care, right? Because I want to be as best as I can on the pitch and whenever I'm out there. And so that does require more stretching throughout the week, like not just stretching Sunday morning. My 2-minute forward bend stretch, which has been great, but also doing some deeper hip stretches and stuff too. So that to me has been a really great touchstone. Unfortunately, we have like one game left, and then we have a break before the winter season starts. And I'm a little bummed because even though it would be kind of like, another thing to have to maintain through the holiday,
right?
It really has been helpful, and really ultimately it works out to be like, with travel time and everything, 2 hours, so it's not a huge time commitment.
No, I get so bummed when tennis doesn't happen, because I will never run as fast in daily life as I have to run for the ball, or I guess maybe if a tiger were chasing me, but that fortunately does not happen. And yeah, so it's really.
I'm trying to commit to. We have a 2-story home, and I'm trying to commit to running up the stairs every time.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's just a way to. I'm going up the stairs anyway.
Yeah.
Just up the stairs, Yeah. And sometimes most of the time I forget. I haven't, because I haven't built it in yet. But that's just another like a little thing of like, and so it sounds crazy. You're just like, but that is on some level self-care, right? And so I just want to illustrate that like teeny little things can be self-care. 1 minute running up the stairs every time.
Yes.
Or taking the stairs when you have the opportunity to take an elevator or escalator.
Those little things make a huge difference. I just want to point this out. So, I like to joke that I know I'm getting old because I have a podiatrist, and these shoes, which I'm wearing right now.
What in God's name?
It's basically acupressure for your feet. This is what keeps the what's it called? Plantar fasciitis at bay. I wear these for like 15 minutes a day. Huge. They hurt. Yeah, you walk on them. They hurt like hell at first, as you can probably imagine, but you do get to the point where everything is so massaged away that you can put these on and it's not a big deal. But you have to do them a little bit every day. You can't do it for 10 hours on one day.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And
that looks like torture, but
it's torture.
Folks, I just want to say this about Allegra, like she's not going to steer you wrong. Like it will help you. She likes to do things like lay on beds of nails and you know, which also, I know it's supposed to be good for you, but like absolute torture. Okay. But
okay. So we should go because we have our 10 o'clock interview that we have to go to. We look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern.
Feel free to comment, even if you're not seeing this live. We always like to check back and say hi and jump in. And what self-care are you maintaining through the holidays?
And hi, Gabby. Sorry, we're heading off. We'd love to chat,
hi.
but we'll hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.